Bullet Club.
Hello and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if it's your first time with us. This is Leanne Presents. I'm Leanne, I'm your host for this video, and joining me as always is Alan, my co-host.
Rags is...
Running around like a crazy thing.
Yeah, that.
He's gone a bit mental. He's just been fed and he's happy about it. So apologies if you hear any scampering.
It's not me trying to get away, honest.
No, not yet.
Yet.
Yeah.
It's been less than a week, so.
So, as you've seen from the title card, we are here with our reactions to AEW's most recent pay-per-view. Had to think about that one. Wrestledream, which took place on the 1st of October.
Correct.
So we're watching this on the 2nd of October after work and things, and recording straight after. But here we are. So we did do our predictions for this event. So if you want to check them out first, we'll put a link somewhere on the screen so you can see that first. And as always with these reactions videos, they're spoiler heavy. So if you're planning to watch Wrestledream and haven't yet, we would recommend you watch that before coming back to it here. Otherwise, you'll know everything that happens.
And you'd be like, oh, they spoiled that for us. Oh, and they spoiled this too. Well, yeah, you're watching a reactions video before the pay-per-view, so yeah.
So consider yourselves warned. Alright then, so we have the 0 hour show, which is more of a 0 hour and a half show, which precedes the event, free on YouTube and all that, so
all that jazz.
Always good.
The 0 hour matches, we did put predictions up in the description to the predictions video because these were announced after we recorded our predictions.
So there are 4 matches on the 0 hour, just loads, and we start with an 8-person mixed tag team match. On one team, we've got Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty, Diamanté, and Mercedes Martinez versus Satoshi Kojima, Keith Lee, Athena, and Bille Starkz.
Yep.
So you got 2 men, 2 women on each side.
Athena being the current Ring of Honor Women's Champion as well. That's right. There he is. I don't think you can see him from actually.
Probably before he flunked.
You'll probably hear him licking.
Lovely sounds. Yes.
He's having his dessert now.
Ring of Honor Women's Champion, you said, was it?
Yeah, correct. I think it's like 290 something days.
Something like that. Pretty cool. Athena's great.
She's doing this quirky thing right now for the looks of it, so that's quite fun.
Yeah, I like it. She has some good ideas for characters. It's good stuff. I found this match quite well balanced in terms of like size of wrestlers and style as well. You had like 2 big guys, 2 medium guys,
4 women.
4 women. 2 of which are more like your stronger looking type, and the other 2 a bit more like lean and that sort of thing. So pretty cool.
Nice. It's water.
It's a fun match to start with. It's sort of very low stakes, but a lot of fun and energy to really getting the crowd interested as soon as they're walking in. Because obviously at this point people are still filing into the arena. Yes, arena. Those ones. So yeah, I quite enjoyed this match.
Yeah, it was decent.
It's alright.
I don't think it was anything special, but yeah, it was decent.
Yeah, and it's always fun to see the different dynamics with different sort of mixes of people. So you often see mixed tag teams where it's 1 man and 1 woman on each side. And we saw one not long ago where it was 2 men and 1 woman on each side.
Yes, that's right.
So now we're seeing 2 of each. So it sort of, I think, feel like it lends more to a flow of the match. Having an even sort of split kind of helps. And it doesn't put all the pressure on the single woman on the team. So it helps that way. But yeah, not bad. Pretty good. Enjoyed it. Good start. The win comes from Satoshi Kojima hitting a lariat on Lee Moriarty and pinning him to win.
Yeah.
So good stuff.
We predicted that one correct. We predicted them to win. I would like to see Satoshi in more singles matches. I want to say he fought Moxley 2 years ago at All Out. I think it was that.
It was so long ago.
And that was the last time we saw him in AEW, if I remember rightly. I might be wrong on that one, but I'm pretty sure that was the last time we saw him in AEW. So I'd like to see more of Satoshi Kojima. That'd be cool.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds good. All right then. Next we have Josh Barnett versus Claudio Castagnoli, who comes out with Jon Moxley to Jon Moxley's music.
Yeah, which is weird.
A little bit weird. Moxley sits on commentary, and it made me wonder whether this is just the Blackpool Combat Club's music now, but it's not.
No.
Which we find out later.
And for those wondering, it is that Josh Barnett, the former UFC heavyweight champion, Josh Barnett.
So I know when we were talking briefly about our predictions for this.
This was predicted on like Rampage, I think. So.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the video. My bad. Yeah.
No, so afterwards.
Yeah.
The two of us were sort of discussing it, and I was very quick to give my prediction of Claudio because I don't really know Josh Barnett at all. But I was really pleasantly surprised. Those of you who already know the guy and what he does, obviously this will be no new news to you, but he's so engaging. He just fit in so well with Claudio in the ring. It didn't feel like an outsider coming in. It was just like, he's just someone else that's adding to, rather than just like a tag along, which is quite refreshing. Good stuff. It was a very technical match, lots of submissions, and it's sort of, you could almost believe it was a shoot match. As if you could easily believe that nothing's predetermined in this one. They were just seeing what they could do and testing each other, which I kind of feel like they might have been a bit. Just
maybe.
Sort of see how
Josh
things
Barnett
go.
obviously got his MMA background. I don't know if Claudio's trained much in MMA, but I would believe if he had, and if he came out and said he had, I would believe it from this.
For sure. Anything else you want to say about this match?
Same as you said, it's a decent technical match. I thought it was a bit of almost like this is what you need to be prepared for with Zack Sabre Jr. and Bryan Danielson later on tonight. I kind of felt that it was like that, like almost like a primer. Yeah. Of sorts.
Because the people who are watching on 0 Hour, like on YouTube, really need to know what's coming in the main show to know whether it's worth buying in or not. So yeah, I completely agree that having that sort of taster of that more technical style is really good. So Claudio Castagnoli wins with a crucifix pin, I believe it was.
I think it was.
It's like everything was a bit quick.
Yeah, it was so many back and forths. It was great.
So it was crazy. And then following the match, Josh Barnett gets on the mic and just like praises Claudio to the sky, just bigs him up, tells him how proud he is of him and how he's going to go like really far. And I don't think it was planned. Claudio was just there like trying to keep a serious face, and he's like,
it was as well. He was saying that Inoki would have really liked Claudio and his style. Obviously, the show being a tribute to Antonio Inoki, the late Antonio Inoki, they founded a New Japan Pro Wrestling founder. So the whole thing as well, and that's why Josh Barnett was brought in, because he was good friends with Antonio Inoki. I think he even said Antonio and Inoki-san would be really proud of you, and he would like you and like your style.
So it's a really nice touch to end the match, but he does then end with, this isn't over.
Yeah.
I will be back. And Claudio then takes the mic and says, anytime, any place, which is really cool. I would very much want to watch these guys go at it again. Because it's a really good match. Enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
We predicted that one correct as well.
Whoop whoop. Alright then, next.
On a roll.
Whoop 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 whoop. Luchasaurus versus Nick Wayne. Maybe a less balanced kind of match.
You think?
Well, Luchasaurus was absolutely brutal, as expected, just throwing Nick Wayne all over the place. Nick Wayne does make a good ragdoll, just bouncing all over the place. He's just like, do what you want, flies across the ring, bounces a bit with his long arms and legs. You can make a good show of it when you got good long arms and legs.
Very gangly.
He's gangly, but it works. And at the same time, Nick Wayne had some really good moves that he did attempt against Luchasaurus.
Attempt being the operative word there.
And Luchasaurus obviously great at just preempting, catching in,
clunk,
just letting things bounce off, not taken by surprise on anything.
It's like using a handgun against a tank.
Exactly. So I think this match went exactly as we'd expected to.
Yep, standard squash match.
Very much so. No outside interference. But obviously both Darby Allin and Christian Cage are in the match later in the actual show. They're the main event. So they wouldn't be getting involved specifically. It's just a squash
match. They did show
like
Nick Wayne's mother at ringside.
They did. She's at ringside, acting all protective. As you do. It's a mother. So the end to this match, Luchasaurus, I believe it was a forearm to the back of Nick Wayne's head.
I don't even remember.
They were bouncing off ropes. Just like instant concussion of pins Nick Wayne and wins.
Which we got correct.
Surprise, surprise. Some matches are gonna be predictable. It's fine. And then the last match on the pre-show on 0 hour and a half is for the AEW World Trios Championship. So we've got TMDK, who we have Shane Haste, Mikey Nichols, and Bad Dude Tito, versus the Acclaimed Max Caster and Anthony Bowens with Daddy Ass Billy Gunn.
Come on then. Let's get this done the way. There we go. That'll do.
You still hate the belts.
Yeah,
so...
they still look like ass.
Yeah.
And I can say that because Daddy Ass.
Yes. I quite liked... The ref obviously shows the belts to the challengers. And I just, in my head, maybe imagined a look of disgust on their faces. Like, don't know if we want these anymore. Yeah, not quite their style.
Yeah, no.
But it's part of the reason why our predictions would have gone a certain way, I suppose, is that when you make custom belts, you're in it for the long haul. There we go.
So, let's have a pop quiz time.
Oh, no.
Hey, Leanne, do you remember what I told you the TMDK stands for?
It was something men don't kneel.
No.
I can't remember. Oh, no?
You had one of those words right.
Really?
Yeah, it's not men.
Oh.
The mighty don't kneel.
Oh, I got 2 words right then.
You said men.
Yeah, I said don't.
Oh, sorry. When you said men, I timed out and then I heard kneel.
The mighty don't kneel.
Yeah, the mighty don't kneel.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so there's a few more obviously members of them, including Zack Sabre Jr. who's going to be facing Brian Danielson later on in the show.
Yes.
But yeah, so I just wanted to make sure that obviously we originally thought it was it
Team Murder Death Kill, which is
I think that's that Chris what's his name Nick Gage, that guy I think it was.
Like deathmatch guy. It's the same letters.
Nothing like that. No,
but I think they use MDK without the T.
Yeah. The eye rolls because I don't like that Gage guy. I just don't like him.
It's the fluorescent light tubes.
Yeah.
That's just too much.
That Dark Side of the Ring episode was rough.
Oof, it really was. All right, back to this match. I felt for most of this match, TMDK were very dominant.
Yes, they usually are.
Apart from when Billy Gunn was in the ring. Yeah. Because I think that man's indestructible. He's like Terminator vibes. He's not budging for anything. Exactly. But I think it was Bad Dude Tito, who's the bigger of that team,
correct.
Was able to knock him down after a bit.
Yeah.
And turn the tide. I mean, it was great. I mean, I could definitely see TMDK getting these championships a bit further down the line. I don't know if they'll be hanging around that long or if they've got other things going on.
They're in New Japan.
Yeah.
They're part of New Japan, so they're not signed to AEW, but they might do a couple more things. Like Aussie Open did until they signed with New Japan with AEW. I'm not entirely sure what's the next because I know that Mikey Nichols and Shane Haste did fight Bishamon for the IWGP Tag Team Champions about a week ago, and they weren't successful. So I'm not sure. They might be trying to sort of find a way back up that ladder at some point.
You might not know, does New Japan have a trios championship?
No, not that I've seen.
Okay.
Wait. No, yes it does, sorry. Yes it does.
Cool. So there is
Okada, Tanahashi, and I can't remember the third member. I want to say Shingo Takagi, but I don't think it is.
It's alright, we will test you.
Yeah, there is 6-man titles. Okada and Tanahashi, who obviously you know as the Echo Ace, and obviously Rainmaker. I don't for the life of me remember who the third member of the team is.
If you know, let us know in the comments. We like to know things.
I blitzed out the G1 and it's kind of all a bit of a blur at the
It's
moment.
a lot of names,
and I've been,
right?
Yeah, and I've been watching The Road to Destruction as well when I've been prepping for our wedding stuff, that I've been doing the painting and stuff like that. But yeah, I've got 2 episodes to watch, and I'm looking forward to the upcoming stuff. So you've got Evil versus Sonata for the WGP Heavyweight Championship. Sonata's kind of lost that in a sense to Evil because Evil's kidnapped the belt after Evil beat him in the G1 tournament.
Oh.
So Evil's kind of kidnapped that belt and he's holding it hostage.
Interesting.
Yeah. But anyway.
I was sort of asking to see whether this team would sort of keep pursuing this
it's
trio
possible.
belt.
It's possible.
But then there's also the possibility if AEW and New Japan keep working together, or if there is the potential sale that we've been hearing about.
There was rumoured a few days ago that Tony Khan may be buying New Japan Pro Wrestling.
So it might be that these 2 titles become linked in some way, or are rivaled in some way.
When you think about it in that sense, there's already 2 6-man tag titles in AEW. Because you've got the Ring of Honor 6-man titles.
Very true.
Spot quiz. Who holds those belts right now?
I have no idea.
The Hung Elite.
Oh,
Young Bucks and Hangman Page.
They do, of course. Nice one.
Yeah,
All right.
anyway.
So, the finish of this match, Max Caster hits the mic drop on Dante
Yeah, it was kind of, what was it? The Famous are first, then the Arrival from Bowens, and then the mic drop.
Mic drop, and pins to win and retain.
So, you know what I've discerned actually is quite funny is that when House of Black held the trio titles,
yes,
and I am wearing a House of Black shirt, so everyone watching is going to be like, oh, he's biased. Yes, I'm biased, but it's also fact, okay? When House of Black held the titles, they defended these championships on every single pay-per-view. Pay-per-view, not the pre-show. How many pay-per-view defenses have the Acclaimed done?
I have no idea, but I don't know if it's
0.
It's not exactly their choice if they're on the pre-show or the main event.
Just goes to show House of Black elevated the titles.
There we go.
Look at it that way. But they've had 2 pay-per-views, and they defended them both times on the pre-show.
Yeah.
At All In, they were the sub-headliner.
Well, we
That's
don't know
all I'm
who
saying.
makes these choices in the
I may be a
end.
bit biased,
A little bit.
but
throwing shade.
I'm just throwing facts. I'm not throwing shade. I'm throwing facts.
Yeah.
Stop me when I start telling lies.
Oh, please don't quote him. We don't talk about him anymore. All right, we're on to actual Wrestledream.
I just want to point out I still hate the logo. I think the logo looks like ass.
The Wrestledream logo.
Yeah,
It looks too much like WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
For sure. I noticed the refs had Wrestledream on the shirts, not just the AEW logo.
Do you notice the New Japan Pro Wrestling guys had the New Japan symbol?
No.
So when was it Eddie Kingston Shibata fight?
Yeah.
The referee has the Lion King of King of Sports
Oh, cool.
logo on their shirt.
Fair enough. And so it's just the AEW
So
ones that
usually
had
the new-
Wrestledream on there.
Yeah, because usually the New Japan referees they do it in black shirts.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, so the first match on the main show is the 2-on-1 handicap match for the World Tag Team Championships.
Ring of Honor.
Sorry, the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. I had to get something wrong. It wouldn't be right if I didn't. So we've got the Righteous, which is Vincent and Dutch.
Yep.
I believe neither have surnames in this story,
Correct.
which is fine. Versus MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Any old school Ring of Honor fans? Vincent is Vinny Marcellia from the Kingdom.
Nice.
From years ago.
Nice. He clicks his fingers. So obviously the current tag team champions are MJF and Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Adam Cole's out with an injury. MJF's defending.
Injury? Is that what we call shattering his ankle?
Yes. Actually, yes.
In 3 places he broke his ankle. Like, what the hell, man?
He wasn't even in a match.
No.
But yeah, so MJF is
That's the annoying thing about it.
defending by himself because he doesn't want to forfeit, which is fair enough.
He said, what was it? I don't want to let my bro Chacho down, I think is the words he said, wasn't it?
He's so cool.
I think they're probably waiting to see how long Adam Cole's recovery is going to be.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Before making the decision to take the belts off.
Yeah, but because they had already planned the match, they needed to either go ahead with it or take the titles off them to sort of know this was a good way around it. So MJF is coming out with a mic and he's promising to body slam Dutch. Dutch is like big, if you didn't know.
He's a large lad.
He's pretty big, so that's pretty unbelievable. And he's also promising to tie Vincent's dreads in a bow and shove them up Dutch's butt. Right up there. And during this match, he makes good on both those promises. Amazingly.
Well, he didn't tie him into a bow.
He didn't tie the dreads in a bow, so we're very disappointed in
So he made 1.5 promises.
Yes. It took him a few attempts to body slam Dutch, but he got it.
Yeah.
I just love that it was the first thing he tried when getting in the ring was body slamming Dutch, and it was like, yeah, no, it's not going to happen. And he also throws in a kangaroo kick for good measure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was pretty fun.
No clotheslines though.
No
single or double clotheslines.
Yeah, it'd have been made sad if he tried to do a clothesline and then he'd be like, oh no, my double clothesline buddy's
Well,
not
there was
here.
that point where he went for the tag and he was like,
yeah. Oh, MJF's so good. How did this happen?
I have no clue. Answers in the comments down below, please.
I don't know how it happened, but I'm here for it all the way. So we get Dutch distracting the ref.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Vincent gets a block of wood and a chair.
Yeah.
Puts the MJF lying down, block of wood sort of long ways holding his ankles apart, and he's going to use the chair to try and break the ankle, I suppose, by smashing it against the wood. But MJF grabs his yam bag. That's how I'm going to put it. And he grabs it and holds it.
What did Taz say? That's a 5-on-2 situation.
5-on-2 situation. Yes.
You're just channeling your inner Taz right now.
Yes.
Yambag City.
Yambag City. Yeah, I mean, I can't relate at all, but ow, that looked painful. He just holds on until the ref turns around, and it's a good while.
Then he's kind of dropped, and Vinny's just kind of like that with the chair, and the ref's like...
Yeah, so he sees that. But that's a good way to turn a situation around.
Yeah.
And then, if you got anything else before we get to the finish?
No, not really. Just it was a fun opening match, and really both teams had a really good showing.
It was a really fun match.
I'd say teams.
Yeah, MJF is a team. Maybe.
All three guys had a great showing.
Definitely.
I definitely want to see more of the Righteous. I want to see them go for the ROH titles.
Definitely.
Oh no, these are the ROH titles, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Duh. Losing the plot.
So the finish on this one, MJF hits a heat seeker on Dutch, pins him, gets both legs up on the second rope. Ref's not looking that way, so he counts the win. Turns around after the count, just as MJF's legs are coming down, so we never saw it.
I thought he's kind of laying there and he's just almost like a...
Yeah.
with his legs on the rope. It's like, oh, you cheeky sod.
It's one of my favourite things with MJF. It's like the shake hands, eye poke, and then it's like, he just looks so proud of himself and so innocent. Hi, Rex. Bye, Rex. So good.
We both predicted MJF to win that, and we both got that one correct.
Yay. Remains the champions. Next, we have for the ROH World Champion and the NJPW. I got my letters mixed up.
NJPW.
New Japan Pro Wrestling. Yeah. I got it wrong twice. The New Japan Strong Openweight Championship. Both at the moment held by Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
So he's defending against Katsuyori Shibata.
Who is the...
He is the Ring of Honor Pure Wrestling champion.
Oh,
did I get it right?
She did.
Yes. You
is that in your notes?
No.
Damn.
I didn't write that down.
My wife's starting to learn things.
Starting. It's a long road. So because the Pure Championship is not being defended, this isn't a pure rules match.
Correct.
It's just a normal AEW standard rules match. Really hard hitting. Also a lot of technical stuff. And I enjoyed this as well for the amount of emotion that's displayed. Eddie Kingston does emotion really well. It's very sort of visceral and raw, I suppose.
Yeah.
So it very much comes up when he's being beaten down, and then you can just see the anger and determination just rise in his face, which makes it really, it draws you in. So it's engaging, which I loved. It seemed a very evenly matched match.
Yes.
despite they're very different in stature, these two wrestlers, but still somehow exactly equal.
Yeah. It was interesting to see that. Because you'd expect, like, Katsuyori, the way he sort of looks, he'd be flying around the place, but he's not. He's more of a ground and pound.
Yeah.
And Eddie is obviously a ground and pound, but they're both kind of technical. They're kind of, I don't know, it was weird, but it was great.
Yeah. It's strange to see how two very different looking people are so similar.
I don't quite know where I was going with my thought then. Not gonna lie.
No, I get it. It's what I'm thinking too. It's hard to articulate.
Yeah.
But no, it's a good stuff. I don't have very much written down. It's very...
You were too afraid to look down at that point. It's like, oh, what's going on?
It's just... You've got a bit of everything.
It's kind of like what we were seeing earlier with Josh Barnett and Claudio Castagnoli. That was a great technical match. And this kind of did the same thing, but to an even further degree.
Yeah.
So again, it's kind of ramping up to this dream match between Bryan Danielson. So they kind of heavily leaned on this technical... aspect, but I think it also is, again, like in tribute to Antonio Inoki.
Definitely.
He was all about the technical style. And I think that's what he was all about.
Yeah.
So this show was to almost honour his style of wrestling. And Eddie Kingston, they're going to bang on about New Japan again. They went to the G1.
Yes.
And he obviously went over there and he picked up some tricks and some new things and that strong style that Japan is New Japan's famous for, you know, that. And that's kind of where he sort of fits in, is that strong style. And I think Katsuyori Shibata is kind of on that knife edge of strong style and technical.
Yeah.
He can kind of do both. He may be not as proficient as someone like a Zack Sabre Jr. or Bryan Danielson or Claudio, but he can teeter that knife edge and hold his own with the best of them, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Makes for a really interesting match. It's not like a fun match like some of the others, but really draws you in and you see a lot of the talent really comes through.
Yeah.
So the finish on this one, after a lot of stuff, Eddie hits a lot of stuff. Eddie hits a power bomb on Shibata and pins to win. I kind of say that because when I just go for a finish and it's just one move, you don't get the sense of all the stuff that's gone before.
Well, he hit a couple of the spinning back fists first, if I remember rightly. And then he grabs him in that powerbomb, and it's like it's not even just he literally pulls him right up and then slams him down and leans right over him.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. You need to watch these matches if you haven't already.
We both predicted Eddie Kingston to retain, and we both got that one correct.
So following the match, Kingston shows respect to Shibata by leaving him in the ring.
I think they were sort of sat there and they were kind of bowing kind of respect a little bit as well.
Bow to each other.
Did they shake hands? I think they shook hands.
I think so. And then Kingston lets him have his time in the ring, play Shibata's music as well. So it was a nice moment. There are a lot of nice moments in this pay-per-view. That's okay.
It's I guess because it's a tribute show, there is, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot more feeling behind it. It's not just wrestling for entertainment.
Yeah.
It's wrestling to pay tribute.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Amazing. Next, only women's match. If
not
you
true.
don't count the mixed tag.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I would count that because there's still women involved.
Yeah, there's women in two matches. So this is for the TBS Championship. We've got Kris Statlander, who's the current champion, versus Julia Hart, who comes out with Brody King.
Yeah, representing House of Black.
Yes. And she looks so cool.
New outfit, she had a new outfit, a new wrestling gear.
New makeup.
Yeah.
She's so cool. They're both cool. Anyway, really enjoyed this match.
Yeah.
Both very talented women. Great skill displayed throughout. Little bit of shenanigans. So we do have...
Are they shenanigans?
Julia tries to use the mist, which I would count
It's a staple.
I count as shenanigans.
Hang on. Okay. Asuka using the mist, is that shenanigans?
Yes.
Okay, so anytime that Asuka wins with that now, and I call foul, you're not allowed to complain.
I never say it's not shenanigans.
Just got to make sure there's a blanket over
But
it.
here's my thing, though. Julia went to do the mist. Statlander, I think she
slapped her or hit her, yeah.
Slapped the mist out of her mouth, essentially. But the ref was watching this whole time. So if the mist hit, in my view, that's a foreign object. Not a natural move, so it would be disqualification. I don't know.
But wrestlers spit in other wrestlers' faces, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean that's disqualification?
But it depends if
hang on,
burns your eyes.
Hang on. Yes or no, is that disqualification?
No.
In the kayfabe of the story, the mist comes from within.
Yeah.
So that's part of the saliva, right?
But
so that just means it's a natural bodily function, right?
that burns your face.
And
when
Julia Hart cannot help the way she's been biologically created with black mist. That's like shooting an alien, a xenomorph from Aliens, having it bleed acid on you and go, "How dare you bleed on me?"
bias.
Same thing.
I don't remember if, like, when Asuka uses the mist, if the ref's ever watching, it's usually behind the ref's back.
I don't remember. But the thing is, they turn around and see green on the face, and it's kind of obvious,
Yeah,
right?
but they didn't see it happen. If the ref didn't see it,
So what did they probably do? Just go, huh.
Well, if they can't prove what happened, they can't call it. You call what you see, right?
So what you're saying is, right, if I were to shoot you and the copper was turned the other way, right, I shoot
We're
you.
talking refs, not cops.
Hang on
That's
now.
very
Same
different.
thing. No, same thing, 'cause they're
It's
both
not.
officials. They're both authority
It's not
figures.
the same thing. Because that's a crime. This is a sport entertainment. He's so biased. I love Julia Hart, so I'm not being, like, biased against her. You're just being overly biased
like
for
it to me.
her. It was a great match for both women.
I honestly felt Statlander felt a bit off to me. She missed a couple of bits.
I know there was the spot where Julia was, like, stepping up onto Statlander's back and going to backdrop onto
Sent
her.
on, yeah.
But I couldn't see anything wrong with what either women did there.
There was some bits on the top rope where Statlander just kind of seemed to be taking too much time or losing her balance.
Okay, I didn't notice those
When
myself.
Julia was doing that thing where she hangs upside down, it took a lot longer than that should have. And Statlander, you could see she was very uneasy on her footing, and it took a lot longer than it should have, and it made it look a bit obvious.
I did not notice this.
She's just going to claim I'm biased.
I was very sleepy today. That's my excuse. I'm taking your word for it. The finish comes when Statlander hits 2 tombstones in a row on Julia and pins her.
No, it was a tombstone on a Sunday Night Fever.
I thought it was 2. Oh.
One tombstone, and then she hooks over the leg.
Okay.
Sun-
It's
Sunday
very
night.
similar though.
Yeah,
right?
it is similar. Yeah.
Do they get a pass on that?
They call it Sunday Night Fever, or well, they call it whatever night it is that this movie is happening fever.
Okay.
So if it happens on Rampage, it's Friday Night Fever. If it happens on Collision, it's Saturday Night Fever.
That's cute. I like it.
So I predicted Statlander would win. I got that correct. You predicted Julia to win. You did not get that correct.
Oh no.
I think you're right though. Julia had a great showing.
Really did, yeah.
And I think that she could be elevated into the main title shot at some point in the next couple of months.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great.
I do wonder whether Statlander maybe needs to reevaluate doing the tombstone and things on people much shorter than her. It's just, like, really obvious that they're nowhere near
Julia
the
was
mat.
like that far off the mat nearly.
I know you don't want them to actually hit their heads on the mat.
But you've also got to make it look convincing.
So maybe even, like, her knees hit the ground and then you just sink down, right?
Yeah.
As you do it, you hit the ground so they're not hitting and then lower yourself down quickly but safely.
Yeah.
So that they're, like, laid down a bit on the mat. Makes it give the appearance of them hitting.
Like Kane. So when Kane hit a tombstone, that's exactly what he would do.
Yeah, because Kane's massive.
Yeah, because Undertaker would hit it, but he'd know when to be able to, because he was obviously doing it for years.
And he, like,
did
dropped
it.
them down straight away as well.
Yeah, well, he would do that and then drop them down. With Kane, he would also be very quick. Knees, bang, and you'd let go, and you'd go boom, boom, really quick, and you wouldn't even notice.
Chris doing it would go down but hold them there, so you could see the gap. So yeah, there's something, a little bit of feedback if she's watching. Because I definitely know what I'm talking about. I'm no expert. I'm just a viewer with opinions. Don't at me. Anyway.
That's at Mr_Raggles.
I mean, I advertise it, so. Come at me, bro.
Borchacho.
Next match, then, we've got the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. Versus Orange Cassidy and Hook versus the Guns, Colin and Austin Gunn of Bullet Club Gold versus Lucha Bros, Rey Fenix and Penta El Zero Miedo. That one. So yeah, lots of peoples, 4 tag teams, most of whom are brothers, and also Orange Cassidy and Hook.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed this one.
So I just got to say in my notes, the first thing I put is, haha, WTF lol. Because this thing was just nuts.
It was nuts. I don't know what happened for half of it. I mean, Austin Gunn tried to pin Colton Gunn. They were very upset when the ref wouldn't count it. And it does like create that debate of, are they allowed to do
I've
that?
always wondered why a team haven't done that. Like, in all the years I've watched, I don't ever remember seeing that happen.
No.
And it happened last night, and I'm like...
And now we know the reason people haven't done it is because it's not allowed.
I love that they tried that.
Why not? You gotta try it.
Do you think Tony Khan was doing the same thing? He sat in the back one day and he was like, I've never seen that. Let's see what happened. What can we do with this?
I can imagine the Guns coming up with the idea themselves.
Yeah, it's a Bullet Club tactic. Absolute Bullet Club tactic.
For sure. Oh, so yeah, that didn't work. There was a very strange moment, which I'm going to try and describe.
Oh, no, here we go.
So Penta...
Your mum has skipped to 3 hours and 10 minutes.
Hook up, I think, in front of him. And Orange Cassidy somehow behind him. But, like, on him. And he's got them.
Yeah, so
right?
he's wearing Orange Cassidy like a backpack,
Yeah,
but backwards,
like...
so backs are touching. And then he's kind of picked Hook up in like a cradle pile driver almost kind of pose.
He's got them.
Or a package pile driver.
And then Nick Jackson jumps off the turnbuckle at them, and they all go down. And you need to, like, watch it, because...
They effectively spiked Hook, face planted Orange Cassidy, and Penta took boots to the face, basically.
Everyone got it. It was wild to see.
It was awesome.
Words can never do it justice. So if you're going to watch any part of this, I'd watch that, because you won't have any idea what I'm talking about otherwise.
That's great.
It's good.
It's great.
There's some real creativity in this match.
I'm not surprised with these 4 teams, to be honest.
No, not at all. They're all excellent in their own ways. Yeah, I mean...
I think I said in the predictions, I still feel they should have put the Hardys in there instead of Orange and Hook.
So they'd have all brothers.
Yeah, it makes more sense.
Yeah, could be down the line.
Like, Orange and Hook had chemistry, but nowhere near the chemistry that the Guns or the Bucks or the Lucha Bros are going to have.
It's a very different type. We didn't really get, unless I missed it, any of the staple Orange Cassidy stuff.
No, I didn't see it.
None of his comedy.
So, also, remember we said Wes Phoenix?
Yes.
At one point. Turns out, and much like they must have done it all in, when we watched it back, we didn't see that there, Phoenix was taken to the back.
Oh, no.
So, he's fine. He was written off because he is banged up after that same spot that gave him Moxley a
Okay.
So they just said, right, we just need to get you out of this to rest and recuperate, and so they I can't even remember what it was that they did, but they effectively took him out of the match, and he was taken backstage, and that's why Penta was on his own.
He must have felt a bit disappointed in that, though.
He's the international champion, so be it.
Yeah, he needs to look after himself. You know, people get hurt.
Yeah, he's fighting Nick Jackson on Wednesday, so.
Yeah, very true. So he needs to be in top condition. Anything else before I get to the finish?
No, I've not got any notes on it apart from what WTF.
Yeah.
Because, like, that was nuts.
It was crazy.
It's crazy.
It's hard to follow, but in the best way.
Yeah. All over the place. It's crazy.
So the Young Bucks hit BTE trigger on Penta.
Boom.
And Nick Jackson pins him to win.
Boom. Elite.
Yes. So that means that they get a shot at the AEW Tag Team Championships.
Correct. At any time.
At any time.
So I predicted that one correct, and you predicted Lucha Bros to win that one, so you got that one incorrect.
Well, if I'd known that they were going to take Ray Phoenix out partway through the match.
To be honest, to be fair, doing the predictions, I gave my rationale, and you had a chance to change it, and you didn't. My rationale clearly works.
I try not to change my ideas after you give me.
I can't remember if I gave it that before or after. I think I said to give clarity, this is why.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I don't remember what we talked about this morning, let alone
last week. Yeah.
All right then. Next we've got Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Adam Page.
Swerve.
It's all right.
Swerve.
It's not a bad match. Swerve, yeah.
I wasn't expecting much from this, but I really enjoyed it, actually.
Yeah, it was fun. The hometown crowd was out in full force for Swerve.
Yeah.
They loved him.
There was some derogatory chants, which we cannot repeat.
No. It was quite surprising, considering how much Hangman is usually cheered and Swerve is usually booed. It was just so opposite
It's
to
complete
that.
opposite, yeah.
Which is crazy. I think it seemed to take Hangman Adam Page by surprise as well, but I don't know if he was just playing into it.
It might have been. Might have been.
Yeah, he was like looking at the crowd like, what? What are you doing? You're meant to be cheering me. But yeah, it's good stuff. So Page gets seen to at one point by Doc Samson.
Yes.
I don't remember what leads to him getting hurt.
Was it the arm thing? That Swerve, I think he's sort of standing on one arm and he drags the other one back, almost like he could have dislocated his shoulder, maybe? Was it that one? Or am I thinking of a different match?
Possibly. Oh, goodness. There was a lot of stuff.
5 hours of wrestling. Of top quality, it's hard to remember everything.
So he's on the outside.
Yeah.
He's on the apron, being seen to by the doctor. Not that doctor. Doc Samson. And Swerve just gets on the turnbuckle and lands a stomp on him. Luckily, the doc had moved out of the way.
Yeah.
But unluckily, Page gets the full brunt of it.
Yeah.
As you do.
It's nasty. That was part of the ring, don't you know?
Hardest part of the ring. And then we have Prince Nana getting involved. Swerving. My autocorrect's gone crazy again. Don't even worry about it. So Prince Nana ends up getting ejected by the ref. And while he's sort of objecting to being ejected, oh, that's a weird sentence. He had previously removed his bejeweled headband, which Swerve then uses to cock Page across the face, knocking him out a bit.
Yeah, just a bit.
Just a bit. Which then does lead neatly into the finish, unless you got anything else.
Nope.
Swerve hits 2 house calls on him, followed by a JML driver. Pins him to win.
Yeah.
I'm seeing these words. I know they relate to moves, but I can't now remember what the moves look like. So I'm what is that? It's fine. I know what I'm talking about. I'm just glad that the commentators talk about what moves are being done.
So we both predicted Hangman to win that one.
Surprise!
I think I said this about partway through the match when they were like, "Oh, this is hometown." And I'm like, if I'd known that, I probably would have picked Swerve.
Yeah, even if just being his hometown, that's one thing. But we had no way to know how much of a hometown crowd he'd have. It was insane, actually. Yeah. You did have, I think, some of the crowd cheering for Hangman midway through the match, which it usually happens with hometown crowds. Everyone will cheer for the hometown person to start with, and then their preferences will come into play later on, because it's the crowd mentality to start with. So it's interesting to see in play.
Cool.
All right. Next, we've got Ricky Starkz versus Wheeler Yuta. Was that good match?
It's alright. I don't know why this is so far up the card, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not that I dislike either guy.
No. A part of me wants to say toilet break, but I'm it wasn't bad.
No.
But I guess if any of these matches might have a toilet break, it might be this one.
This one, like I said, it wasn't a bad match.
No,
but
not at all.
It kind of lost my interest a bit.
Yes.
There was some great chain wrestling in it.
Definitely.
And, I just want to reiterate, it wasn't a bad match at all.
No, it
but
really
wasn't. But it just didn't hold my interest.
No, I think the link to this match was quite tenuous. I think we mentioned during our predictions.
Yeah.
The only real reason for it is that when Ricky faced Bryan Danielson, he went to give a handshake while Bryan Danielson was in the corner, and Wheeler Yuta maybe thought he was going to attack him and pushed him out of the way and went for him a bit.
Yeah.
And that sparked a match. So it is a valid reason, but quite weak maybe. So we didn't have that investment in what was happening. There wasn't really any stakes to it. But saying that, it was a really good technical match. Again, got loads of technical stuff. Big Bill came out at one point, but I don't think he did anything useful. And
the only thing he did was save Starkz from slamming against the outside when Yuta hit him off the apron or something.
So he just took a person to the face.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much it.
That's okay.
Yep.
He was there. It's all good. And then Ricky Starkz hits a Rochambeau on Yuta and pins him to win.
Yep. We predicted that one correct too.
Nice.
Boom.
Good stuff. All right. scrolling too far. Next we've got, talking of Bryan Danielson, it's Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. from TMDK.
There we go.
The mighty Don't Kneel.
Who is what champion? What's he got?
Oh,
see how much he's paying
me.
attention.
It's the New Japan UK champion.
No.
Oh. Is that not?
No.
Oh, no.
No.
Go on then.
He's the New Japan Pro Wrestling World TV Champion.
Oh, it's
the
someone
very
else who got the UK one.
first TV champion for New Japan.
My bad.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the other belt.
Yeah.
Which was someone else.
I'll test you on that after, don't I?
Well, I know that one now.
Who's holding that one on?
Hang
on. Cheat.
Will Ospreay?
Yeah.
I didn't even reach it in my notes because
you're right.
I've scrolled wrong and now I'm never going to be able to find my place again. Okay, here we go. Cool.
And that's actually relevant because Zack Sabre Jr. is fighting Will Ospreay for that title at Royal Quest 3 in, what's the date? 12 days.
Nice. Cool.
In London.
Yes.
Couple bucks.
Great match.
Mm-hmm.
As you'd expect from these guys.
I was worried it wouldn't live up to the hype.
Yeah.
And I think I mentioned that in the predictions.
Yeah, because of the labelling it as a dream match.
Yeah.
Sets really high expectations. But I think they did a really good job.
Yeah, they really did. I love Zack Sabre Jr. What was it? Someone was heckling him in the crowd. And he's like, "Shut up, I'm trying to work here."
He said, "Shut up, dickhead, I'm working."
That's it.
Sorry, I wrote the quote down.
No, that's great. That's great. No, that's great. And that's like it's Zack Sabre Jr. all the way from G1. He's been like, he just tackled the crowd. It's hilarious.
Nothing will beat a good old British insult.
Love him. Like, can I say that word on this channel?
Which one?
The B word?
Yeah.
Brian Bollocks? Or Dragon Bollocks, he calls him. Dragon Bollocks.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Apologies if it's not. We don't know. Send us
this may have just hit us into a TV-14 rating.
Send us a list of words we can't say. I don't know.
Now I got that DX thing in my head where they're like, "We will not say the word."
Yes.
Beep, 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 beep. And it's, oh my God. Classic attitude era of that. Classic DX.
Alright then. Weird moment. Double crab hold.
You did say you're not going to be able to explain this one, so come on.
Alright, so both guys, they got their legs like locked together, and they both put their arms down and bridge up, but because they're linked, both their legs go up. So you got them with the legs in the air locked together and their hands on the ground hanging upside down in a very high sort of bridge.
It's weird.
The coordination to get that right is... I've got a really random analogy in my head that's probably going to go nowhere.
Oh, here we go.
If you've ever watched rugby and they do the scrum where you've got all the guys sort of arms linked together and they slam into the other team, and if you get it even slightly wrong, the whole thing collapses and everyone falls down. It's that sort of in my head of that coordination and mistake. They have to do it exactly the same time or they're just going to flop.
Yeah.
Weird analogy. Apologies.
Yeah, it kind of fits.
Yeah. I don't know why. It's like a reverse scrum. I don't know. My brain.
A backward scrum. So the legs instead of the shoulders.
I think they should incorporate that into rugby. I think that'd be quite fun.
Oh,
I'd watch it then.
You have to run the ball, holding it between your legs, handstanding all the way down the field.
Crab rugby.
Oh, God. Well, crab rugby would be like the Bray Wyatt thing, though, wouldn't it? On the,
Maybe.
Like, the crab walk thing?
You have different ways, different strategies. Anyway, back to the match.
Yeah.
It was full of fast-paced counters, submission holds, quick pin attempts. It's another sort of non-stop, don't blink or you'll miss it kind of match, which is great when you're really tired.
There's a lot of time you're watching it and you're like, whose leg is that?
Yeah.
How is it in that... Wait, what?
There was one point where Zack Sabre Jr. had like his arms linked around Bryan Danielson's leg, and I was like, couldn't tell if it was both of his arms or one of his arms and one of Danielson's arms. I'm like, I don't even know what's happening. It's just a mess of limbs.
It was.
It's great.
It was great though.
I love it.
I think I'm gonna have to watch that match back in slow motion.
Yeah,
just half speed it.
Just make sure you mute it. Just the sounds will be terrible in slow motion.
We'll chuck some Alter Bridge on instead.
Yeah, why not? Anything else you want to say before we get to the finish?
No, it's a super technical match and it's hard to follow along at times. Pretty much is all my notes.
Yeah, hard to follow along in the best possible
Yeah.
But completely.
It kind of kept you guessing all the time.
Yeah, definitely. So we've got Danielson hitting a Psycho knee.
Yeah.
And pinning Zack Sabre Jr. for the win.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah, I predicted Bryan to win. You predicted Zack Sabre Jr. to win. Unfortunately, I was right. I would have much rather Zack Sabre Jr. win. Obviously, heading into that match with Will Ospreay, he would have done. I think he would have got some good momentum from this.
I'm on a bad run this time.
Yeah,
around.
you are.
Ooh.
You are. We've had 4 wrong thus far.
And you've had everything right.
No, I haven't.
Oh.
I got Swerve and Hangman wrong.
Oh yes, of course.
Anyway, we'll tally the results at the end.
Yeah. I'm sad.
Spoiler alert, I win.
So Bryan Danielson offers his hand to Zack Sabre Jr. to shake.
Yeah.
Zack rolls out the ring and leaves.
TMDS. The
TMDS.
mighty don't shake.
The mighty don't. Very good, very good. I did quite like the explanation from the commentary team that like he's just had a big loss. The last thing he wants to do is shake hands with someone. He doesn't even want to talk to anyone or see anyone right now.
I think that's Nigel McGuinness though, isn't it? Because he's
he's
really salty against Bryan Danielson.
But it does make sense in a way.
Yeah.
I'd feel like if I just lost maybe one of the biggest matches of my life and I was offered a handshake, I'd feel like they're like just rubbing it in my face right now.
Yeah.
So I kind of get that mentality.
Yeah. And again, going back into this Royal Quest match, he knows he's got Ospreay coming up, and Ospreay is literally one of the best in the world.
Yeah.
So you've kind of lost that momentum already by losing this match.
And he's going to throw him off, but hopefully not. All right then. So next we've got the team of Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, and Kota Ibushi.
AKA Golden Judas. That's what I'm calling him.
Okay. Versus Sammy Guevara, Will Ospreay, and Konosuke Takeshita.
The Don Callis family.
And they come out with Don Callis. Boo.
Okay, we gotta talk about what's on the screen first, right? Is that in your notes?
No.
The painting.
The painting. So, The Last Supper. Well, you've got Don Callis as Jesus. And then all the faces are blurred out apart from the 3 closest to Don Callis, who are Takeshita, Ospreay, and Guevara. My brain. Yeah.
I can't believe they did that, I'm not going to lie, because that's a bit...
It's quite on the nose, but then it just got my head thinking, are they going to fill in all the other faces?
I did think that as well.
But that's a lot of faces.
We need to know what, 9?
Should be 12 altogether.
Including Jesus?
No, it would be 12.
So it's 12 apostles, right?
Jesus,
Yeah, so we need another 9 people in the Callis family.
Yeah.
At that point, they'll be bigger than Bullet Club.
So they probably
and
won't.
I'm talking OG Bullet Club, like the Japan Bullet Club.
But I mean, it does the job of establishing that they are definitely a heel faction. So that's what it says on the tin. Oh.
Okay, so let's pin in that a sec, right? Okay.
Cool. Let's go.
MJF had a bit of a spat with whom on Dynamite?
Bullet Club.
Switchblade. What happened to Switchblade at the end of Dynamite?
He got attacked
By?
The Masked Devil.
And yes, there's 5 people and one of them was wearing a Masked Devil mask, right? Now, if Callis sees himself as Jesus, would he align with someone calling themselves the devil? Or portraying themselves as the devil? Because obviously MJF said that wasn't him. And we'd think it wasn't him because the shoulder, the build on that person wasn't the same build. So, whoever that is could be part of the Don Callis family. Who's to say we're not going to get like this huge faction in AEW that's going to be the Don Callis family?
Maybe.
And then other members, like the Elite's pretty big. Like you got the Elite, you got Hangman, you got Kota. Who else have we got? Oh god, I can't even think of it. There's quite a few. Kenny, you know, there's 5, 6 members there.
Kenny?
I know, right? There's 5 members there already, and they've got other people they can drag into it. You could have this like massive, almost gang warfare at that point, right? And you would have, what if you had the Elite teaming with Bullet Club Gold? Oh my god, that's a dream match right there. Elite and Bullet Club Gold teaming up, like, oh yes, that gets my juices flowing.
Wow.
You know? Whoa.
I feel like it's unlikely that this
but
faction will get this big, but it's interesting to think about.
But you say that, but Bullet Club's huge in Japan.
Yeah.
I mean, including House of Torture, you've probably got like 12, 15 members.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Who knows? We'll have to wait and see.
Mm.
Cool. Great match.
Yeah.
Very much enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
Both sides had moments where one of them had a submission hold on, and they had like a chain of their teammates hanging off the ropes to try and cinch that.
Yeah, it's like a abdominal stretch. Yeah.
Cinch
Got
it
the
in.
leverage.
But the ref saw both times because he's a good ref.
Was it Aubrey? I think it was Aubrey, wasn't it?
I think it was Bryce this one.
I'm not so convinced.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I can't remember.
I'll have to watch it back. But yeah, good refs. They're all good refs.
Wow.
Mostly.
Moxley probably won't say that about Bryce, but let's carry on.
It's all good. So we did have Sammy and Jericho went at it for a bit. Sammy pins Jericho, who kicks out at 1.
Was that after the code breaker, I think, as well, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
It was after something really hard.
Trying to use Jericho's own move against him, mate. Come on.
And you could see Jericho just like veins popping out of his head. So angry.
He was mad.
I love it. It's so good. There was a moment where Will Ospreay's feigning an injury, something to do with his neck. He's like rolling around on the floor. So yeah, it was Aubrey. It was Aubrey.
Told you.
You're right. Because I remember it was her trying to sort him out, and she's like trying to make him lie still so she can check on him.
Yeah.
But then he sort of holds on to her.
Yeah.
So she can't turn round and see that there's a pin attempt happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, then she's like yelling at him afterwards, like, "What do you think you're doing?" Because
Yeah, because I think Aubrey's the only one that really kicks the hands when there's stuff like that happening.
No, the shorter guy, is that Bryce?
Bryce is the bald one.
I only have room for one male ref name in my head apparently, because there's the tall bald one.
That's Bryce.
And the shorter bald one.
Paul Turner.
That one. He's good. He kicks hands.
The one that kind of looks like our postie.
Yeah, thanks. No, not him. He's got hair. There's a shorter bald one.
Carry on, continue.
Anyway, he kicks hands.
Gone too much of a tangent, yeah.
So many tangents. Anything else you want to say before we get to the finish?
Epic showing.
Was.
I wasn't fussed with the finish.
No.
But I can, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
It makes perfect sense.
And that's not because of who wins and who loses, the way it was done.
Yeah. So the ref is distracted a second time, and Don Callis hits Jericho in the head with a baseball bat.
Floyd. His own baseball bat.
Yes.
Good.
You've got Ospreay on the outside, restraining Omega and Ibushi so they can't break up the pin, and Sammy Guevara does the actual pinning.
Yeah.
It had to be that way. It had to be the two of them.
I mean, yeah, we got that one wrong. We predicted Golden Judas to win.
Yeah.
The one thing about this match that I was like, okay, Kota didn't really get much in ring time, I noticed, and it was the same last month, and it was the same at All In as well. Did you fight All Out? I think he fought All Out, didn't he? No, I might be thinking of All In.
Do you think there might be a bit of an injury? Or...
I don't know. He might be on his way out. He might be sort of, I don't know how old Kota Ibushi is. I know he's been wrestling for a while. He might just be...
Slowing down,
maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe it's the frantic pace of American or AEW style wrestling that he can't keep up with. I don't know. All I know is he's not with New Japan because he got a bit annoyed with the way that they were dealing with stuff there, apparently. I'm not entirely certain of the full details. But it also leads you to believe in what's next. Like, Callis keeps winning.
Yeah.
And Kenny's not going to just lay down and take it, right? And we still haven't had the blow-off. Like, Kenny's not had his revenge against Don Callis. So this hasn't, not by any stretch of the imagination, has this finished yet.
No.
Same with Jericho.
So where can they go next? This is this could have been a climax. So yeah, interesting. So maybe it is leading to the faction just getting bigger and bigger.
Maybe.
We'll see. They'll be dragging in Christian.
I mean, obviously the thing is, Will Ospreay can't be committed to AEW for most of the time because he's with New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, it's very true. Unless he gets bought.
Well, his contract's not up till the end of the year.
What happens to contracts if the companies become the same company?
They retain the contract, yeah. So if it gets, so if New Japan gets bought, then the contract goes the same. But Will Ospreay's contract, if it doesn't get bought, is up from New Japan at the end of this year.
Yeah.
So potentially he might move over to AEW.
Maybe.
Who knows?
All right, next match. We've got the AEW World Tag Team Championship. So Aussie Open, Carl Fletcher and Mark Davis versus FTR, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler.
Yeah.
Whose names I remembered without having to look at the card.
Way.
I'm terrible with names. The non-stop match, another one where there was so much back and forth and really well paced. It just kept you rooted in from the start. So very much enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
It was good. There was a fun bumper cars moment where you had both of Aussie Open had FTR, one each. They were holding them up and they run around the outside of the ring and just smash them into each other.
There was a name for it, I can't remember what it is.
I called it bumper cars. I don't remember them saying what it was
They
called.
did it better than New Baby at Wembley as well.
Yeah, it was fun. It did seem that Mark Davis might have hurt his wrist.
Speculation is he's broken his wrist. Which sucks because he's only just come. Well, he hasn't long come back from injury.
Yeah, there was a couple of awkward looking moves. I think his arm was like landed on.
I think so.
While it was across his chest at one point, and from then he clearly couldn't put any weight on it. He was screaming, just like trying to put weight, but you never know in the moment if it's work or a shoot. It's really hard to tell, and these guys they carry on through anything, partly adrenaline and partly not wanting to disappoint the fans.
Yeah.
So you can't tell, and you can't really speculate. But then hearing afterwards that it does sound like a proper injury.
Yeah.
We never want this stuff to happen. I'm grateful that he finished the match and he seemed to be like looking after himself for the rest of the match. So like holding it safe.
As soon as you can, yeah.
Yeah, that's all you can do. And we just like hope that it's not too serious an injury and he recovers. So yeah, but apart from that, really good match. And if it was a work, oh my goodness, what a sell job.
I said he did put something on his not Instagram, I said on Twitter. Saying, I can't remember what he said, but something, snap my wrist or something like that.
Yeah. So it does sound like a real injury.
Yeah. They'll probably, obviously, because it only happened last night, it happened less than 24 hours ago.
Yeah. So be investigating, getting x-rays and things.
To hospital and, no, you can say hospital.
Yeah, they say hospital.
Yeah.
So yeah, excellent match. Anything else you want to say before the finish?
Good match. It was hard hitting, a lot more hard hitting than some of the previous ones. So that was really cool.
Definitely. So FTR hit the Shatter Machine. I think they said Super Shatter Machine.
Yeah, because
they jumped off the top.
It's from the top.
And Cash pins Fletcher, so they win, and FTR retain the championships.
We got that one correct. We predicted FTR to retain.
Yeah.
There was that Shatter Machine that Aussie Open went for, and he went a bit high, and Davis kind of looked like he was just jumping up and kneed him in the face instead. It was like,
yeah, it didn't go quite right.
Oh, that's spicy.
They tried.
It was good though. It was good.
Yes, it was. All right. Are we ready for your favourite segment? Leanne signs of the pay-per-view. Leanne signs of the pay-per-view. Oh, the signs seen better days. All right. I didn't have many signs written down on my list. A little bit of a slow one for signs, but I will say shout out to those people using apostrophes correctly on their signs. There were at least 2 with correct apostrophes, and I'm here for it. All right, so this first one used an apostrophe. So in second place of 2, one of MJF's paws with an arrow pointing at the person.
Yeah.
Well done, using apostrophes correctly. We like it. And the winner for this week, Christian Cage, still a better dad than my father. Ouch. Throwing shade. Yeah.
Shade? He threw the entire shadow realm.
Through the shadow
Dear
realm.
God.
I wouldn't want to be that person's dad, but it's fun. Fun stuff. That was nice and quick. Oh, there were quite a few signs, and some did make me laugh. But a lot of them were like image based, so I can't really.
Like, what was that picture of that guy's face? What the hell was that?
I have no idea. Some anime guy or game character. Who knows?
Maybe both.
There you go. That was Leanne signs of the pay-per-view. Leanne signs of the pay-per-view. Very nice. And you know what that means?
It's time for the main event.
Nice one.
Boom.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. So yeah, come to the main event. We've got the TNT Championships.
The best dad of the world.
Christian Cage versus Darby Allin in a best 2 out of 3 falls match.
4.
for the TNT Championship.
There we go.
Well, I was saying that, and then you started talking about the dad, so I had to change what I was saying. It's not my fault. Good match?
Yeah. I wasn't expecting much for this. But yeah.
It definitely... There was a lot going on, especially at the end, but we'll get to that. So I sort of whizzed through it a bit. It started off quite standard.
Yeah.
Until the first fall, which Darby Allin wins the first fall by pulling Christian's turtleneck over his head and then rolling him up in a quick jackknife.
Yeah, jackknife pin, yeah.
That's what he gets for wearing a stretchy turtleneck. So then he's like on the outside trying to pull it down, and he's like got his arms like...
Funny.
That was funny.
Peeking through the neck.
Throughout this match, there was a surprisingly even split to the crowd support.
Yeah, I was really surprised by that.
This isn't Christian's hometown, is it?
No, he's from Canada.
It's a bit odd. Christian's like so much a heel, but then some people love a heel. You love a heel.
Yeah.
But for me, Christian's like the wrong side of heel for me to like.
I think it's probably just appreciation of everything. Because obviously he's been wrestling since the 90s.
Yes.
You know, and he's putting in the work, he's putting in the effort. He's not afraid to go places other guys probably would be. And I think they appreciate that.
Yeah, I think so.
So, in the sense that MJF's our scumbag, then Christian Cage's are...
I want to say a really bad word.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, he's one of those.
Yeah.
But he's our one. So yeah, that did take me by surprise. So we come to the second fall.
Yeah.
Where Christian has dragged out the steel steps in a way that I don't know if we've seen before. So he's turned them round so that the actual steps are facing the ring. So that he can slam Darby Allin into the like edges of the actual steps twice in a row.
I think it was meant to be once, but it looked like that first attempt went sideways.
He ended up doing it quite a bit, but...
Because he had him on the apron, he looked like he was going to throw him, but it looked like he slipped, and he hit the floor instead, and then he did it twice.
And he slammed it. And got a... Well, it was a... It wasn't a pinfall, was it? He counted out. Because he, like, couldn't move. So you've got the doctors coming out, checking on him. They call for a stretcher. Ref's trying to keep Christian away. So Christian keeps himself busy by undoing the
some DIY
fastenings from the ring mat. And pulling it back to expose the wooden boards.
Well, I mean, in Christian's mind at that point, right, the match is over, because Darby's not going to be able to get up, right? So... Match is over. He's just helping the ring crew deconstruct the ring, right?
Yeah. But then,
See?
does that explain
Best
why
dad material.
When they get Darby Allin on a stretcher to wheel him out, Christian then does a frog splash onto Darby who's on the stretcher.
I mean, Darby must have said something about you're not a good dad at all or something and just taunted him. I don't know. I don't know.
Being practically unconscious. Yeah, okay. So that happens.
Maybe Darby flashed his certain finger with a pink nail on it.
Long pink nails. But yeah, after the frog splash, Christian drags Darby into the ring. Darby signals that he's alright to continue for some reason.
Oh, it's raining outside apparently.
We've got a soggy cat. And they sort of carry on for a bit. Christian goes for a spear. Darby moves. The ref doesn't. The ref takes a spear.
Poor Bryce.
But, to be fair, the ring mat's like been folded over, so where the ref hits is double padded. So
it's like landing on a mattress.
Yeah, it's fine. So that happens, and then out comes Nick Wayne.
Ugh, this guy.
So Christian's gone and grabbed the belt to use against Darby Allin. Nick Wayne comes out and takes the belt off him. And then hits Darby with it.
Now, I know I've talked about this with you at some point. I can't remember if it was on our predictions or if it was outside of our recording, because we obviously talk about stuff outside of recording as well. I know, shock horror, sorry guys. But I did say that there's going to be a chance that Nick Wayne is going to turn on Darby soon because of the Fox stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect it to be this soon.
No. Or this dramatic.
Yeah. That smack was I think he'd literally made contact with that belt. I think he was a bit too close and...
Got a bit excited.
You heard it. You heard it.
Didn't like that clap. He's putting paw prints on my sign again. So yeah, Darby's down after getting belted. That was unintentional. Ref gets dragged across and does his classic unconscious counting.
Yeah, really slow count.
Really slow count, basically passing out in between each, but counts the pin and Christian wins this third and final fall. Retains the championship and the match is over.
Yeah. We predicted that one correct too.
Yay! But wait, there's more. So...
Oh, yeah.
yeah, more following the finish. So Nick and Christian are beating up Darby.
Mm-hmm.
Sting comes out to equalise, does some beating up of his own, but then has the better gotten out of him. That's a weird way to say it. You know what I mean. Luchasaurus comes out
Okay.
to put the numbers back in Christian's favour.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know, would Nick Wayne be
Luchasaurus.
classed as in his favour?
Well, Darby's basically unconscious at this
He
point.
weighs about
He's
the same.
no help.
He weighs about the same as a 12-year-old soaking wet, right?
Yeah, he's a ragdoll. So Sting's been just ganged up on. He can't do anything.
Yeah.
Christian gets 2 chairs.
Here comes the concerto.
Concerto time. But then the lights go out.
Dun, dun, dun. But Sting's already in the ring.
It's a video package.
Yeah.
And we notice on the road, as there's this person driving a car, on the road it says rated R.
Mm-hmm. I wonder who that could be.
So we know what's happening. Lights come back on. Everyone's like, what's happening?
Well, I think some of them are like, wait.
As soon as you saw rated R on the screen, you heard the crowd just going mental already. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
But then, you think you know me?
No, try again. You think you know him.
Oh, was it?
They changed it. You think
I
you know
missed
him.
it. You think you know him.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So yeah, out comes...
Off the bridge, Metalingus starts playing.
Metalingus.
Don't-
Rated R superstar.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't say the other name.
Adam Copeland.
Adam Copeland is all elite, baby.
He is. So he has faces up to Christian. Christian's looking
he's cut his hair short again.
He has cut his hair. He's got a cool outfit on, but when doesn't he?
Yeah,
He's
this is
always
true.
dressed
This is
cool.
very true. There was that kid in the crowd earlier in the show as well. Had the Edge shirt that I've got with the
The Edge shirt. There were people in the crowd with "You think you know me" related
Matthew or
signs.
something. I'm sure that's related to a wrestling news site or something.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah. So goes up to Christian. They have a bit of a stare down, and you're not quite sure what emotions going between them.
Because they're like real life best friends.
Yes. So it's cool. I wonder if Christian knew it was happening. He probably did.
Yeah.
Edge takes the chair, goes as if he's going to hit the concerto on Sting, but instead whacks Nick Wayne right in his stomach.
It was in the back.
And chest. Was it?
Yeah, it
I
was in
thought
the
it was
back
front.
first. He swung for the back.
My bad. I thought it was front.
I'm pretty sure it was back.
Then he throws the chair at Luchasaurus, attacks Luchasaurus and Christian.
Slams a spear on... I think it was Luchasaurus?
I think so. And they hobble off.
Limping, licking their wounds.
Licking their wounds.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Adam
you
Copeland.
said it.
Adam Copeland
We
is
won't
on
get
the edge.
cancelled for
No,
it.
I know. No.
It's fine.
So,
you know.
from what I gather, so what was the date that this pay-per-view happened?
1st of October?
How many days in September?
30.
And do you know what day Edge's contract expired with WWE?
1st of September?
No.
Oh, the 30th.
30th of September.
September.
So literally his contract...
Yes. I was thinking the 30-day no compete,
Yeah,
but that's
doesn't
for...
count. Yeah, it doesn't
That's
count.
for early termination.
Yeah, it's
of a
90
contract.
day. 90 day no
90
compete.
days.
Yeah. But yeah,
Not bad.
apparently his WWE contract ends on the 30th, so it's 30th of September, and then the 1st of October he's in the other company.
Just the next day.
Boom!
Salt in the wounds.
Oh yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
So that was
Cool.
an amazing finish.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
We can't wait to see what comes next.
I do think it could have been a better pop if they hadn't shown the package, or especially if they hadn't shown Rated R Superstar on it or Rated R on it.
Yeah.
And just had, like, lights go down.
Mystery person driving a car is fine.
Yeah, mystery person driving a car. But even so, like, you could just have them come up slightly, have the smoke blow off. You think you know him. As soon as you hear that, it's like Royal Rumble when you return to Royal Rumble. That crowd went nuclear. You know?
It was a massive surprise for Royal Rumble. There was, I don't think I remember there being as many hints or rumours.
Well, there was none.
Before.
Yeah, there was none.
It was a complete surprise.
Yeah, he was retired, so.
There were rumours for this.
Oh, there's been rumours for months, yeah.
Yeah, we've just been waiting for it.
Yeah.
So.
Since his last match on SmackDown in August, mid-August. That was the last time they used him.
Yeah. Sad.
And then they moved him to the alumni section of the website last week.
Why would they just not wait?
Because they're idiots. It's WWE, they're idiots. Have you seen the Fastlane matches so far? There's 4 matches and they're all pretty much ass.
Oh no. Anyway.
Okay. Final thoughts then.
Yes.
Least favourite match of the show? Let's go least first.
My least favourite, I think, was Ricky Starkz versus Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah, and this, same. And it like I said, it wasn't a bad match.
Nope.
It just, I don't know.
The lowest of a high bar.
Yeah. Even the pre-show matches were better than that because I guess it's kind of leading into it.
Yeah.
This was like, we're at the halfway point now. It's got to be about 2 hours in, and it's like,
it's a bit of a dip.
Okay, I need a drink. I need a little snack to keep me going. Something like, there's stuff like that, Yeah. And I felt it was that.
Which sometimes you do need something like that in the middle.
Yeah.
Which there's no problem with it.
Favourite match of the night.
I had a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
There's so many really good ones. I very much, really at the top is Christian versus Darby Allin, but I think that's mainly for the stuff that happened around the match rather than the match itself.
Yeah.
So I put that as a secondary, and I think my favourite was Eddie Kingston versus Katsuyori Shibata.
Okay. That's a surprise.
It really close though, but I really enjoyed the dynamic and the different styles of wrestling, and it's just really engaging. I think I'd woken up a little bit at that point as well, so that helps.
It was quite early on in the show, so for me it's, and you're gonna say it's because your favourite show, but it's not. It's the fatal four. It's the 4-way tag match.
It was awesome
because there was so much great stuff happening, like you said, with the guns trying to pin each other.
Yeah.
The Bucks and Penta doing the move with the Orange Cassidy and Hook, and it was so many great spots in this match. You can't even remember. Then I'm going to have to go back and watch again just to appreciate it all over again. Yeah. And it was just a fantastic match.
I think the only reason that didn't make my top is how there's so much that I couldn't remember all of it. So I lost a bit of it through that. So it was great at the time, but then looking back, like I do for this bit of the show, it sort of didn't stand out as much. But it's definitely up there. And cool. Oh, that's good talk.
Cool. Okay, so what's next?
Next, Fastlane.
Yeah, and that's coming up. Yeah, we'll have predictions of it at some point this week.
Yes.
I don't know what day yet. We'll see.
Does it air on the Saturday night?
Yes, it does. So our reactions will be up on Sunday. Maybe Wednesday for predictions. Maybe. We'll try and get that out. If not, it might be Thursday. We honestly don't know right now. We've still got a lot going on.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. Don't worry. It'll be up this week.
Cool. Okay. Anything else you want to add to
really enjoyed this show. Yeah. It's good, but definitely would like them to move their shows to Saturday nights if possible. It's just easier for us. I know. We're the most important, so make it work.
I mean, Britain drew the most people in any AEW crowd, so make it happen.
Yeah. People work on Mondays. I know people work on Sundays as well. I'm being selfish
There's a higher percentage of work on Mondays than they do Sundays.
We're allowed to be selfish.
Anyway, take us home, yeah?
Alright, thank you so much for watching. Please like this video if you liked it. Subscribe and hit that bell to be notified when we drop new videos. As we've said, we'll have our predictions for Fastlane coming up very soon. So if you've hit that bell, you'll be first in line.
And they could be very short.
It could be. Just like, who cares? But we will do our best.
It's a secondary company anyway, so.
Follow us on socials. Our link is in the description below, which will take you to Instagram, Facebook, and X, formerly known as Twitter, which will put our weekly updates of what's coming up and also clips from posted videos so you can see what's going on. that's it. That's all the things.
Yep.
I always feel like I've missed something. Leave a comment. Comment below. Let us know.
What your favourite match was?
Your favourite match. Least favourite match.
Who do you want to see Edge face first? Sorry, Adam Copeland face first.
Yes.
I already know the answer.
Who's your dream match with Adam Copeland out of the AEW roster?
And don't say Christian.
It'll happen.
But don't say Christian.
That's the obvious one. Great. Thank you again for watching. We'll see you later this week for predictions.
Yep, and more.